The Secret Love of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. I must tell you a secret history hidden beneath the weight of crowns and empires. It begins not with politics or battles, but with the beating heart of a young queen. Imagine this, a monarch at the height of her power, admired by millions, yet secretly aching for connection. Queen Victoria, one of the most powerful figures in history, was not only a ruler, she was a woman who fell deeply, vulnerably in love. And her story with Prince Albert is not the tale of a royal arrangement. It is a story of soulmates who defied the cold traditions of their time. Victoria first laid eyes on Albert in 1839. He was her cousin from Germany, invited to visit the royal court. History books describe the scene like a fairy tale, but Victoria's own diary tells us the truth. The moment she saw him, she was overwhelmed. "It was with some emotion that I beheld Albert," she wrote. "He is so sensible, so kind, and so good, and so very handsome." In a world where queens were expected to be distant, she confessed her feelings openly on the page. She could not ignore the fire that had been lit inside her. And so, against all tradition, it was Victoria herself who proposed marriage to Albert, an unheard-of act that shocked even her closest advisors. Their love unfolded in letters, hundreds of them, written in hurried ink late at night, exchanged when duties pulled them apart. These were not the stiff words of political partners, but the passionate confessions of two souls bound together. Victoria called Albert her angel. She told him that in his arms she found freedom from the crushing weight of the crown. Albert, in turn, reminded her that she was not just a queen, but a woman deserving tenderness. He teased her, comforted her, and often scolded her gently when her fiery temper took over. Their marriage, rare among royal unions, was a true partnership, a dance of equals in a world that demanded hierarchy. But life in the palace was not without struggle. The pressures of ruling an empire seeped into their home. Victoria's strong will sometimes clashed with Albert's calm reason. Arguments flared, doors were slammed, and harsh words were exchanged. Yet the letters reveal something profound. No matter how fierce the quarrel, they always returned to one another with apologies and renewed affection. Albert often wrote that their love was their strength, the anchor that allowed them to face the storms of leadership. Their children, 9 in total, became living symbols of their bond, though parenting under the public gaze was never easy. The true test of their love came in 1861. Albert, still young, fell gravely ill. The palace fell silent as doctors rushed in and hope dwindled. Victoria, desperate and terrified, refused to leave his side. She wrote later of the anguish of watching the light fade from his eyes. When Albert died, Victoria was shattered. Her diary entries from those days are almost unbearable to read. She described herself as paralyzed, her life dark and empty. The queen who had once glowed with love became a shadow. She dressed in black for the rest of her life, 40 years of mourning that transformed her image into the solemn, widow queen we often imagine today. And yet, even in grief, their love story did not end. Victoria continued to write letters to Albert long after his death, addressing him as though he still sat beside her. She confided her fears, her political struggles, her joys and sorrows. The world saw a stern monarch, but behind closed doors, she was still the woman in love with her angel. Her devotion shaped her reign, softening her judgments, grounding her leadership in compassion and loyalty. The empire may have stretched across the globe, but her heart remained fixed on one man. Today, when historians open those letters, they find not just the story of a queen and her consort, but the raw humanity of love itself. Victoria and Albert remind us that titles, crowns, and empires cannot shield the human heart from longing. Their story is proof that even those who seem untouchable yearn for tenderness, companionship, and the courage to be vulnerable. In an age where marriage was often a tool of politics, they dared to choose love. So if there is one truth to carry from their story, it is this: love is not about power or appearances. It is about finding the one who steadies your spirit, the one whose presence feels like home. And once you find that person, hold on with all your might, because love, true love, is the only crown that never fades.